Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Ascension TV. It is such a pleasure to be back here to give you guys the daily message on the meditations that have been taking place for me in the last few months. For today's theme, the message that I got on my meditation today was we get stuck in the details of our own lives, not being able to see the next step. It is so important for us to not give ourselves such a hard time with whatever we want to do, and just give yourself the open space to create and to do whatever makes you feel excited. The moment that you get stuck, the moment that you start overthinking about how you're going to make something happen, you're not giving yourself the permission to live in the journey in your own process. And when you get stuck within the details of your own story, which is the only choice that we have here, we are in charge of the details of our main idea. But if we get stuck in the simple details, which is just getting it done, if you do not get it done, you will not be able to get to your next step. Ideas come to us immediately. Ideas come to us without us even knowing. But those ideas, if we're paying attention to those are the ideas that we must follow. Because those ideas, for some reason, within your own radar, within your own way of being, within the person that you are, those ideas are coming towards you. They're not going through anybody else. They're being meant for you to do, not for nobody else to do. But if you get stuck in the details of how you're gonna get it done, if you get stuck in the details of what they're gonna say about me, if you get stuck in the details of how can I make this happen, instead of you just doing it, you will not get to your next step. But how do you let go of all these insecurities and things that are surrounding me? I'm sure it's one of the questions people can ask themselves. How do I get out of my own way so I'm able to really start enjoying myself? How do I get out of my own way for me to really start understanding what I can do? How do I get myself out of my own way in order for me to live much more efficiently, fun, and excited? What the real question is, are you willing to get out of yourself? The real question is, are you wanting to really make the change? Are you really willing to let go of the entire storyline you have formulated on yourself and create a new molding based on what you know you want to do? That's where the question comes in towards yourself, to yourself. So you're able to actually transmute and get to the next level of your own human experience. And not worry about the details that are in your story, and actually start enjoying the story that is meant for you. The details that are inside of your story have nothing to do with what you think. The details of your story have to do with what makes you feel excited. Details come inside of your story when you're not thinking. Your brain is just a machine that you can program to have information in it, but it's just information that has been given to many, many people, and now you're just absorbing the information from different other people. But when are you going to actually start understanding that you have your own information? When are you going to start understanding that the things that are meant for you will come to you? When are you going to start understanding that your inner knowing is the one that's going to show you the map, and it's going to be the compass towards what you know you want to do for yourself? When are you going to start listening to yourself? When are you going to start listening to what you know holds to be truth for you? When is the time? We have been educated very well to like follow other people. We have been educated very well to follow what makes us connect to the rest of the world. We have been really nicely adapted to what the world wants. But when do we adapt to what we want? When do we adapt to actually moving towards the way that we want? When are we going to adapt to listening to what we know holds to be truth? When are we going to do that? When are we going to give ourselves the permission to actually not get stuck in our own details and just live life a little bit more, and actually trusting that life is going to be just fine? When? From the moment that we were born to the moment that you are now listening to this video, you have learned so many things. And for you, you know what holds to be truthful to you. And what holds to be truthful for the rest of the world. But when are you going to learn that you have your own truth to speak on, and you're going to be able to actually become more alive at actually expressing and doing what makes you feel excited to live the life that you want? When are you going to give yourself the permission to be everything and more? In this world, there's just so many things that you can do. But where are you going to start listening to what you want to do for you? We have learned how to be polite. We have learned how to be abundant. We have learned how to really take care of each other. We have learned beautiful things and how to acknowledge each other, how to be with each other, how to actually care for each other. But when are you going to take the time to care about you? When are you going to take the time to really come into terms that you have importance and your storyline has value that you can use for your own human experience? It is a divine right for you to have come into this world and understand that everything has been always working out for you, and that since the beginning, you have placed yourself in a moment that you have always known who you are, but you have depended on others to understand that. And that's fine. And that's okay, because we are all in the same universe, and we all depend on each other in order to create something bigger than ourselves. But when are you going to learn to find your own unique star? When are you going to find your own unique ways? With the details that you hold to be truth for you, create something. But start listening. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the big questions. And face the mirror. Look at the mirror. Face your shadow. Face your soul. Face your face. And speak to your mirror. And give yourself the permission to ask yourself the questions that no one has ever asked themselves. You have a right to know. But you also have a right to get to know yourself. Because you have always known. We have never hidden anything from you. It's all been here. It's all been well. And you have been always being taken care of. You have the path, you have the flow, you have everything you need in order for you to become more abundant in your own human experience and not get stuck in the details that do not favor you. Have you been listening to that internal voice that's been guiding you? Have you been listening to that internal voice that has been telling you, please, let's do something different? Have you been listening to the body? How do you listen to your body? The way you listen to your body is by understanding how heavy your body feels. The heaviness of your body is the communication between you and your brain. If you're not feeling light in your human experience, then something has to change. You are a spirit already, yet you have given yourself so much construction that you have not given yourself enough flow in the spirit. And why is that? Why have you let that happen? Is it because you want to please other people based on their own structures and beliefs? Or is it because you're too insecure to actually show up for yourself when you must show up for yourself? But giving yourself the permission to live the life that is meant for you and not worry about any of the details. It's when you're going to find the fun. It's when you're going to find the fun in what makes you feel good about yourself. Having the compassion to get to know yourself all over again. It's beautiful. Having the compassion to really understand each other and our own ways of living. It's important. And it's important that if you're able to share your story, I'm sure someone else will listen. I'm sure that if you're able to tell people your story, even though people are like, we don't really care about your story, that's not even valuable. Those words are not valuable. Those words are not something that shows compassion towards people. Compassion is being there for people. It's having an open ear to listen to people. Compassion is you facing the person and telling them, I understand you, and just serving as a listening ear. Compassion is just understanding other people's ways of being and not judging them based on what we think holds to be truth for our nature. In a world of infinite possibilities, we have lost touch with what makes us unified, with what makes us part of a bigger story, what makes us awaken to the truth that we all hold to be true. Compassion is something that is coming out of what we know. What we know is the right thing to do. We've had many people on this earth who have walked the path of compassion. And thanks to them, we understand what it is to be compassionate all the time. So why not have we tried to be compassionate with ourselves? Why have we not giving ourselves the authority to sit down with ourselves and actually start writing things down that actually gives us the permission to be with ourselves? I want you guys to really give yourself the opportunity today to be compassionate with yourself. I want you guys to really just come into a closer alignment with yourself. To come into closer alignment with what makes you feel excited and live the life that you know you've always meant to be. And don't get stuck on the details. Just don't. Don't get stuck on the details, because those details will decrease your chances. We have choice. We all have a plan. We all have a way how to view ourselves. We all know exactly what we must do for ourselves. But the details, we have control of the details, but let's not give ourselves too much of a headache for details that are just meant to flow. In the process of you being inside of the process of the journey, you will know what fits you and what does not. In the beginning, it will be uncomfortable, but in the process, you will get used to it and adapt. We humans have been doing that since the beginning of time, and we still hold that to be truth because we do it every single day without noticing. We adapt. We adapt every day. From the moment that we wake up to the moment that we go to sleep, we adapt. We adapt by watching things that we don't even know why we're watching them, but we just watch them. We adapt to change jobs all the time. We adapt to ride a bike one day. We adapt to walk one day. We adapt to walk a certain way. We adapt to fitting in a molding. We adapt all the time. We are always changing. We're always moving. We're very multidimensional. Yet we still don't understand or even see beyond the basics that we are. And the basics of our human experience that we live every single day. So if we have adapted to society, why can we adapt to what is easy to us? Why can't just us adapt to what we know is fun and exciting for us? I want you guys today, as a exercise, if you wish to do this, write on a piece of paper what makes you feel excited. Go back in history, go back in time, go back to a moment where you actually felt inspired and happy, and just write down that moment. I do these all the time. I do these all the time because these actually make me feel so excited about who I am and what makes me feel excited. Like I have a whole wall here in my house of memories that of a time where I actually created something and I felt good about it, but not towards the end of the whole entire journey, but during the journey. How good I felt during the journey. What made that moment really like open me up. So I invite you guys today to go back into your memory banks and just see what actually made you feel excited. What made your heart beat? Not of nervousness, just what made your heart beat. What really filled you up? And just remember that and keep that with you. And then once you make the change, go. Don't worry about the details. Go. It has been a pleasure for me to deliver this message today. Today's meditation has been very, very powerful for everyone that's actually restarting their lives. Just know that you're always being guarded. You're always being supported by someone. You're always been in someone's heart. And you're always inspiring someone, whether you think about it or not. That's the thing. Whether you think about it or not, you yourself are inspiring someone else by you being yourself. So remember to just be excited to be you. Be excited to explain things the way that you want to explain. Be excited to do the things that you want to do. That you're going to learn how to become your own better molding. And always remember to have faith in yourself. Beyond anything else in this world, have faith in yourself, because you have the power. You have the power to become more of yourself with faith. March with courage wherever you go, because your willpower will be the one that will take you to your next horizon, and courage is always needed. And always be kind to yourself beyond anything else. Always be kind to yourself, because that kindness that you show for yourself, you will be able to project it out into the world that also deserves kindness. Thank you so much.